All right, let's talk about something that is honestly one of the most mind-bending stories in all of biology. We're going to look at a creature that just completely defies our understanding of what a body can do, and we're going to uncover a brand new secret about how it pulls off its incredible tricks.
So let me just start with a question, and it's going to sound like it's straight out of a comic book or something. What if, after you got hurt, your brain could just tell your body to rebuild itself perfectly?
Well, for this little guy right here, it is not science fiction at all. This is the axolotl. It's a type of salamander that's been called the champion of regeneration, and for a very, very good reason. It holds the key to repairing and replacing its own body parts with almost flawless accuracy.
And look, when I call it a superstar, that is not an exaggeration. Its abilities are, well, they're just astonishing.
I mean, the sheer scope of what it can do is staggering. We're not just talking about regrowing a little bit of skin here. The axolotl can completely rebuild entire limbs, its tail, it can repair crushed sections of its spinal cord, and even parts of its brain, heart, and lungs. It is a true master of biological repair.
So you can imagine scientists have been absolutely fascinated by this for years. And since regrowing a whole arm or leg is just so wild for a vertebrate, that's where most of the research has gone. But as we're about to see, the tail, well, it has its own incredible story to tell.
You know, for the longest time, the thinking was that all this regeneration stuff was a totally local affair. Everything was managed right there at the site of the injury by a little dedicated crew of cells.
So the way we thought it worked was pretty straightforward, kind of like a playbook. After an amputation, the wound heals up real quick. Then this special cap of skin cells forms, which tells the cells underneath to start gathering together. This leads to the formation of something called a blastema, and over a few weeks, that blastema just rebuilds the entire limb from scratch.
So, what exactly is a blastema? Well, think of it like this. It's a biological 3D printer. It's this amazing little cluster of cells that have basically forgotten what they used to be, whether it was muscle or bone, and they've become a blank slate, just ready and waiting for instructions to build a brand new, perfect body part.
So, for decades, that was the story. A local construction crew with a local 3D printer. Simple enough, right? But a new discovery has just completely flipped the script.
And it turns out we were missing a huge piece of the puzzle. We weren't asking the right question. Is this local crew just working on its own, or is it getting orders from, like, a mission control somewhere far, far away? And here it is. This is the jaw dropper. Recent research has discovered a direct link between the brain and the injury. A specific group of neurons in the axolotl's brain don't just know that the tail is hurt. Their activation is necessary for the regeneration to even work properly.
What this really reveals is this hidden command system for healing. A direct hotline, a connection between the brain and the body that we never knew existed.
So how does it work? It's kind of like a relay race. First, the injury happens way down at the tail. That triggers specific neurons in a part of the brain called the telencephalon to fire up. They then pass a signal to another region, the hypothalamus, which in turn releases this chemical messenger called neurotensin. That little molecule then travels all the way to the injury site and helps kickstart the whole repair process.
And here's the kicker. This isn't just some interesting little detail. It is absolutely essential. When the researchers blocked this brain-to-tail signal, the axolotl's ability to regrow its tail was severely damaged. The repair crew on the ground, well, it needs its orders from headquarters, or the job just doesn't get done right.
Now, this incredible ability to repair, it's not just about fixing injuries. It actually gives the axolotl some other biological superpowers, especially when you start looking at things like aging and cancer.
But its powers aren't limitless. Just like with us, age plays a factor. The axolotl's amazing regenerative abilities do slow down as it gets older. A younger animal can rebuild a limb way faster than an older one, and figuring out why that happens is a huge focus for scientists.
Now, you might be thinking, an animal that's so good at growing new stuff must be a cancer magnet, right? I mean, cancer is just uncontrolled growth. But here's the thing. The axolotl has it all figured out. While cancer is chaotic and just keeps going, regeneration is this highly controlled, precise process that knows exactly when to build and, crucially, when to stop.
So how does it pull this off? Well, the axolotl basically has this amazing anti-cancer toolkit built right in. It keeps an incredibly tight leash on the genes that manage cell growth, it uses powerful tumor suppressors like the famous p53 gene, and it even uses programmed cell death to get rid of any extra cells. On top of all that, its immune system is fantastic at clearing out old, potentially dangerous cells.
So let's step back. What does all of this mean for us? Why should we care so much about this little salamander?
Because the axolotl isn't just some weird little creature. It's a living, breathing blueprint. It shows us a detailed roadmap for how a complex animal, a vertebrate like us, can achieve what is pretty much the holy grail of medicine: perfect, functional, scar-free healing. And if we can understand that map, we might one day unlock those same abilities in ourselves.
I mean, the axolotl's biology really does feel like science fiction, right? Its ability to regrow body parts based on a signal from its brain is something you'd expect to see in a movie. It just makes you wonder, what other impossible secrets is nature just waiting to tell us?